Good evening, welcome to the Derby Debrief. We're live on Facebook on RamsTV and we are live in Pride Park as we look back on Derby County 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1. And Saturday night always feels a bit better, especially if you might have plans when your team have won and won in good style in the end.
They did. They started the game slow. Wycombe were the better team. They were putting them under a bit of pressure. We never really settled. Midway through that first half, we started to show a little bit more signs, and towards the end, we're obviously putting them under pressure. But the second half was much better. The intensity, the forward moving, the forward passing, creativity. I think we had nearly 30 shots over the course of 90 minutes, so you can't argue with how many chances we created. It was that one moment that we needed. It felt like we needed something special, and Conor Hourihane produced it with a wonderful strike. And it was his afternoon. He was our player of the match. He was our player of the match before the second goal. He was outstanding for the most part tonight. He was. I thought McGoldrick was a close second. I thought he was instrumental in everything that we did well in the second half, with his movement and clever movement, flicks around the corner, turning. Could have had a couple of goals himself. But you have to credit the manager as well, because I think the change with Mendez-Laing and Collins coming on made a huge impact to the game. Mendez-Laing, as soon as he got on the pitch, he was a real threat, creating chances, 1v1s. I always felt him being missing. You lose that quality in those wide areas in the 1v1s, and Barkhazen really got involved when he had to drop that tiny bit deeper. So sometimes you have to have those squad players, or those players that aren't in the starting 11, to change games, and I thought the two players that came on did. What about the goalkeeper, though, Joe Wildsmith? I mean, really smart saves this afternoon. Well, he's gone almost unnoticed at the start of the season, and I think that's a huge credit to him, because I think people questioned over pre-season whether he would be maybe good enough or suit the way that Liam wanted to play. In the first few games, he got caught out of a couple of occasions in the play-out, in the build. But what he's always shown, and shown throughout pre-season and the start of the season, when you need him to make one big save against the run of play, just one moment, he can make them. And I think he's been exceptional at the start of the season. I don't think he's done too many things wrong, and he made two big saves, especially in the second half when we needed him today. How important was it just to grind that result out a little bit today? Because there were times where, despite peppering the goalmouth, you thought it might just not come, because a couple of defeats before this, and then you've got a bit of a break that you go into now. If you'd gone into that having lost the last three, that's when some doubts might start creeping in. Well, I think they dealt with the pressure of the game quite well. The last couple of games haven't been good enough, especially here at home, where we're 2-0 up at half-time against Plymouth. So you could feel a few moans and groans, because these sets of fans want and expect to be in that top six and get promoted from this division this year, with the players we've got, with the squad we've got, with the quality and talent that we have on display. But even when it looked like it wasn't going to be it, and you have to say Wycombe defended the box excellently. They made so many blocks. The keeper made some wonderful saves. It's important that you keep doing the right things. You keep getting the ball down. You keep trying to play forward. You keep progressing through the pitch, and have that belief that it will come off and something will happen. And again, it felt like a special moment was needed, and Conor Hourihane produced that moment. And then even from that, there was a bit of delay. There's a little bit of almost dysfunction within the game, where balls were going out, there was fouls, there were free kicks, and the fluidity of the game went. Derby kept at it, kept doing the right things, and ultimately got their reward in the end. More from Shaun in a moment, but I wonder how the manager is feeling tonight, dealing, as we've been saying, with the pressure of that game. Let's hear it from Liam Rosenior speaking after the game to RamsTV.
Liam, 3 points, that must feel pretty good.
Yeah, 3 points always feels good. Deserved. I think we absolutely dominated the game, other than a really sloppy opening 10 minutes from the team. But again, James Chester's come in for his first game. I thought he was magnificent. You know, it was going to take him time to get up to speed with the speed of the game, but he showed his quality on the ball, and he showed his defensive reliability, and it's great to have him back in the squad, and it gives me more options in terms of getting Jason Knight into a more forward area, and he was outstanding as well. Obviously, Conor scores 2 fantastic goals, but I feel really good that we won the game, but we have to be more clinical, because I think we could have had 5, 6, maybe 7 today. And I think that's been we've got the international break now. That's been the start of our season, where we've dominated. Other than the last 2 games before this, was not to our level. We've dominated every single game that we've played in, and the players are getting better at it. And now what we're doing is starting to create chances as well, even more chances. So things look positive. And I'm delighted with the start, and I'm delighted with the character and resilience of the team, because if you go 1-0 down at home after losing 2 games before that, it's a real test of character for the group, for myself, and thankfully we came through that, and it puts us in another good position in the league.
You mentioned the resilience and the character there, and we've seen that throughout the last year, really. In terms of the performance today, because I know you're very big on performance, and you wanted a reaction to Plymouth and Lincoln, do you feel that you got that from the players today? Yeah,
100%, other than the first 10 minutes, and they get a really poor goal from our point of view. After that, I said to the players at half-time, I was really calm. I said to the players, I'm really calm, because our performance is telling me it's a matter of time. But what we can't do is allow time to pass by in terms of the next 45 minutes, and we need to be clinical. And fortunately, we've got a top quality player in Conor Hourihane, who scores 2 outstanding goals. But I mean, Louis Sibley had a really good chance. David McGoldrick's had a couple of really good chances. We're creating chances, and I'm really delighted with that aspect of our game.
Conor Hourihane's first goal, when he was lining it up, did you think, and I've got a witness to prove it, that I said this is in. That's just the quality that he's got, isn't it? From the edge of the box, with space and time, that's what he can do.
And I felt we have a shape without the ball, and we have a shape in the ball. I changed the shape with the ball today to play free at the back, and to give Conor more freedom in the central areas of the pitch to get forward and support from a central area. So, you know, I'm still learning about this group. We've not been together long, and it's going to take me time. In terms of understanding the different relationships you need on a pitch consistently. But today he found 2 great positions. He was more freer in his positions because he had an extra man behind him, and I'm delighted he got the 2 goals, but we should have scored more today.
Second goal was great composure as well, because that could have gone anywhere if he didn't have the composure, but he did, and he drilled it in the bottom corner.
He does it in training every single day, and the great thing for all of our young players is with Conor is when they see him train, they see the amount of work he puts in on the training ground to make sure that those moments, I think I spoke to you about moments in the last game, you become clinical in those moments because you're so consistent in your technique. But he works on that every single day. So he gets to a point where he's lining up that for the second goal, and I'm thinking that's in, you know, and I'm so delighted. I worked really, really hard to bring him to the football club, to persuade him. You ask him, I made 15 phone calls after meeting him by chance, and the reason I did that is because I know what a quality player he is and how important he can be to us to be successful at the end of the season.
I'm glad that Liam got the memo about the jacket, jumper, shirt combo as well. Now, that was interesting. 15 phone calls to bring Conor Hourihane here. That's how much he wanted him. We knew, and we did a couple of games in the summer, didn't we? Pre-season games. We knew that he was a quality player arriving at the club. Just needed, and we spoke on Tuesday night about this, where to play him, how to play him to get the best out of him. Yeah,
he's a player that can drift in and out of games, but when he's in games, his quality kind of shines through. I thought there was times in the first half where he was finding that little bit more time in midfield, a little bit more space to find a pass, especially out wide to Roberts and Sibley. Naturally, you want him further up the pitch because he has the quality in and around the edge of the box to punish teams, and we saw that in the second half. But you have to have, I think, more possession, more dominance, and that allows him to go forward. And at Pride Park, we've seen more of that, and we've seen.
First goal was a terrific strike as well, wasn't it?
It was, but he has that quality. So if he has that quality around the edge of the box, you want him there. But sometimes, I think it's important that he does drift deeper and gets on the ball and helps dictate the play and helps build the ball up the pitch, and then allow him to kind of go forward. And when Jason Knight came alongside him in that second half, he just maybe had that little bit more opportunity to find those positions and find the space that he wanted to get in. And obviously the second goal, it's a brilliant finish under a bit of pressure, but where is he? He's in the box. He's there to try and punish the team, and 2 great goals for him.
And once that first goal went in, I felt that there was only ever going to be one winner in the contest, but still there was a little bit of work to be done for that second goal.
There was, but I always felt that there might be a chance for Wycombe because we were so dominant and because it was so forward thinking and players getting forward and having the opportunities to get further up the pitch. We saw Erin Cashin putting a cross in towards the far post. We saw Curtis Davis stepping forward. Because they were sitting so far back, there was times for counter, and we almost got punished with one of them. So it's always in a balance, but we always had the better chances. We always had the momentum. And again, the players that came on the pitch, Mendes, Lang, make a huge difference. Collins allowed McGoldrick to drop into better spaces himself. So all in all, it was a wonderful second half in terms of the character, the grit and determination to get back into the game first and foremost, a couple of quality goals, and ultimately the feeling going away from Pride Park is of joy and euphoria of getting that win.
We'll hear from Conor in a moment. I just want to ask you, though, on that interview we were just hearing there with Liam Rosenior, still getting to know the players, because I think we kind of underestimate what a job that is. It wasn't like he had a nucleus of a squad from last season that he was bringing through. It was a complete change around, virtually.
It is, and it takes longer than 2-3 months. It really
just
does.
do a pre-season and embed 13, 14 new players in, can you?
But what he did was, a lot of players that were already here knew those players, and a lot of players that were coming in had already played with those players before, experienced playing against them. So I think Curtis mentioned it when he was up in studio a few weeks back. You get to know players as a senior player. So Curtis Davises, people like that, the Richard Stearmans, the Craig Forsyth, will have played against all these players, would have shook hands, would have competed with them. And it's the younger players that probably don't know the players that have come in, but it still takes a little bit of time. I still think we're trying to work out the best way that suits us. I think we've got a style, we've got a possession-based team and style. How we get the most of them, how we get those chances, how we create chances. And today in that second half, I thought there was more intensity, more driving runs forward, and ultimately we had nearly 30 shots over 90 minutes, which tells you something.
We've spoken a little bit about Joe Wilde-Smith already. I just want to sort of develop that point, because in that second half, those 2 saves, really crucial to ensure that Derby carried on and won the 3 points today and won the match.
Yeah, well, at the start of the season, I thought we was asking more of him in terms of in-possession stuff. I thought he was higher up his lines. He was making a few mistakes in terms of having too long on the touch and playing forward. But with an in-possession team, a team that dominates the ball for long spells, it's about those keepers that stay alert, that make that one save when you need it. And I think he's been excellent at that all season. And he's shown again the importance of that one moment when you switched off, when you counted on, can he make the saves? And he has done.
You're watching Facebook Live. It's RamsTV and the Derby Debrief. Let's hear them from our player of the match, Conor Hourihane.
Conor, we'll get on to the goals in a minute, but once again, a fantastic turnaround at Pride Park Stadium.
Yeah, delighted, obviously, with 3 points. Obviously, look, back-to-back defeats. We need to show character today. We showed even more character after going 1-0 down, and delighted to turn it around. Look, we've been disappointed with the last few performances and results, so today was really, really important, obviously, to get the 3 points and put in a decent performance and go into the international break with a feel-good factor.
After going 1-0 down, you really did sort of peg Wycombe back throughout the game. It just seemed to be a matter of time that the breakthrough was going to come.
Yeah, look, I think we had lots of chances. I think we had a few in the first half. I think we had a spell of, in like 10 seconds, of 4 shots, and it blocked a couple off the line, and I just thought, it can't be one of these days again. Felt we played all right in the second half again, created chances. We have in every game, I felt, pretty much, especially at home. And we just needed that first one to go in, and like you said, it ended up being a matter of time.
And when that ball came to you, that's trademark Conor Hourihane, really, isn't it? Edge of the box, on your left foot.
Yeah. Look, I was, obviously scored one of the first game of the season. I felt, it's been a little bit of a bit of time. I'm quite hard on myself. So I felt like it was a really good opportunity when Digi slid that ball to me, and lucky enough, it went in. 2
very different goals. A lot of time to think about the first one, whereas the second one comes to you and arrowed in.
Yeah, look, it just fell for me nicely. Obviously, after getting one, I was kind of on a high and felt I'd venture into the box a little bit, and you never know what can break for you. So, look, when it fell for me, on my left foot, I always fancy myself, so it was delighted to see it go in.
I think we all know your mentality, and I've seen photographs of you after the first goal. Straight away you were lifting the team, wanting to go and get that second one. That says a lot about character in this side, doesn't it, and yourself?
Yeah, it's something I pride myself on, being a really good character around the place, on and off the pitch, and we've got plenty of them in the dressing room, and I think the big word today is character. To come back from a couple of bad results, 1-0 down today, we could have kind of went under a little bit, but we stood up to it, kept going, and felt like we got the 3 points that we've fully deserved.
Like you say, important not to go into the international break with another negative result. Nice to turn that round, and that will give you confidence over that period now.
Yeah, definitely gives everyone a time now to reflect on the kind of hectic start of the season. We've had a quick turnaround, lots of new players bedding in and whatever, and I felt like we're a couple of points shy of what we deserve, but look, we've got what we've got, and now it's a chance for everyone to kind of regroup, get a couple of injuries, mend it and get them back for after the break and be in a stronger position after it.
Just a word on Joe Goldsmith as well. A couple of excellent saves from him late in the game after we did take the lead. He really made sure we held on to those 3 points, didn't he?
Yeah, massive. Look, it was a group effort today. Everyone needed to put in their little bit, and credit to Joe. He pulled out a couple of good saves, and just a massive 3 points.
Looking forward to getting away with Ireland now?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Look, love meeting up with Ireland. Love playing for my country. So look, it gives me a nice bounce now, meeting up with them and full of confidence, and it's just worked out really well.
Conor Hourihane talking there about it being a group effort today. Here's results from elsewhere in League One this afternoon. Accrington Stanley 1, Cheltenham 0. Bolton beat Peterborough by a 1-0. What a game at Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers 3, Lincoln City 6. Cambridge United lost at home to Barnsley by 3-0. Exeter lost at home by 2-0 against Burton Albion. There was a draw between Fleetwood and Charlton. Forest Green Rovers 1, Morecambe 2. Oxford 1, MK Dons 2. And then the other results today: Port Vale 2, Shrewsbury 1, Portsmouth 2, Plymouth 2, and it finished Sheffield Wednesday 2, Ipswich Town 2. As the groundsmen mow the pitch here behind us at Pride Park. Let's have a look at the current League One table. That's a nice sight, isn't it? Derby up to 7th now in the table, 14 points. As Liam Rosenior has been saying at the end of the game today, listening to him, he would certainly have settled for being level on points at this stage with the teams in the playoff position. So Ipswich and Portsmouth top of the pile at the moment, then Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Bolton and Barnsley. Derby down in 7th. And let's have a quick look at the bottom half of the table. And Burton Albion won and won well today, so they are up to 4 points, but they're still bottom of the table with Morecambe, Forest Green Rovers and Bristol Rovers as well. This afternoon's opponents, Wycombe, have now dropped to 16th in the table. You're watching the Derby Debrief live on Facebook from RamsTV, and just before we wrap up, Shaun, I think we'll take that today. Certainly it was entertaining, there were lots of positives, and as Conor Hourihane was saying, a big group effort this afternoon.
It was, and it was a reaction. It was a reaction to the previous 2 games and probably performances that were below par, were below where as expected. I thought we showed a bit of everything. We started slow, but the reaction to get back into the game after 1-0 down, and it looked like they were going to kind of block everything and make challenges in the box and defend for their lives. But ultimately, we did enough to get the 3 points. We created chances, we were positive in possession, and that's what the fans want to see.
And you can make a case now for a bit of a break being a good or a bad thing. 1, they've won today. You want to go on and push on and try and build on that performance. But 2, opportunity to do a bit of work at Moor Farm. You've got players like Connor and Aaron Cashin and Jason Knight going away on international duty as well. So actually the break might come at a good time.
I think you can look at it either way. Every club's probably the same. Those that win will probably want to play the next game as quickly as possible. Those that lose might want that little bit of time off. But it's important that they come back. Those that go away international duty come back with the same frame of mind, same reaction. We want the same kind of positive kind of input to the game that we've just seen this afternoon. And we've got a good squad. We've got a few players still to come back from injury. So hopefully we're looking strong for the next game. Well,
thank you very much for your company over the last couple of games. Owen will be back with you on RamsTV very shortly. So look forward to that. And you look forward to Monday. Big birthday. Happy birthday from all of us at RamsTV to you, Shaun. Enjoy your birthday weekend and have a great day on Monday, won't you?
Oh, we'll do. Thank you. 40 now.
40.
Unbelievable.
Doesn't look it though, does he? Doesn't look it at all. Congratulations on the landmark. Thank you very much for your company and watching the Derby Debrief. The final score inside Pride Park this afternoon. It finished Derby County 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday night. Bye for now.